Hey everyone. So a little bit more about the 20-hour Understanding Trauma for Safer Spaces training. We just wanted to let you know kind of what's it all about and a little bit more about what you can get out of it. So within this training, we spend a lot of time talking about social justice, social change, systemic change. We talk a lot about collective shifts and approaches that we can take, but we also spend a lot of time talking about the individual. So for individuals, how might trauma show up? How might it manifest? What is trauma and what is it not? And within all of that, how do we as practitioners, facilitators, anyone in any industry that works with a human being, how do we hold space for people and for their experiences? And that compassion, that empathy, that understanding is a massive component of it. We also spend a lot of time talking about what tools can you use for yourself and what tools can you use alongside those that you're working with. So we get into a lot of different topics, everything from understanding trauma, interoception, triggers and activators, systemic change, social justice, quite literally everything in between. We have more of a breakdown of what's actually included, and you can see the descriptions of each component, each topic, each module. So feel free to check that out and ask us any and all questions along the way. But I also wanted to offer you a little tool that you can bring in and use literally right now. And you can use anytime you're walking into a new space, or it might be something that you implement into the spaces that you frequent. And it's called Orienting. And it's something that works to communicate a sense of safety to your nervous system by finding something that you can anchor to and that you can ground back to. So what this looks like is, in the spaces that you frequent, take some time to look around that space and find something that naturally draws you in and something that brings a sense of ease. It might be a plant, a painting, a favorite blanket, literally anything. Anything that draws you in, holds your attention, and evokes a sense of safety, a sense of ease, maybe a little bit of comfort. You can also do this in spaces that are new. So if you walk into a new space and maybe you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, maybe there's a bit of anxiousness, there might be some uncertainty, it's one of the first things I do. I look around the room for an anchor point. Is there something that I can look to, that I can ground in for a moment, but also something that, if throughout my time in this space, maybe my emotions or maybe my energy starts to increase, I might become a little bit activated or meet some resistance or some friction in my body. Is there a point that I can come back to if that does occur? So let's put this into practice and see how it feels for you. So the space that you're in right here, right now, take a moment to look all around. Don't necessarily go to the first thing that you see. Look all around. Look to the ceiling. Look to the walls. Look to the floor. Find the items that are in your space. Let some of them wash over you. Let some of them draw you in. And then over time, with eyes of curiosity, find that one thing that draws you in. So find that object or that thing that draws your attention, and then allow yourself to fully immerse yourself. See the colors. Notice the texture if there is one or some. Notice the shape. And allow all of your attention and awareness to be pulled in by this thing. Notice if your heart rate has started to change. Maybe your breathing has shifted. And then tell yourself, okay, this is my anchor point. This is something I can come back to when I need a moment, when I need to ground. And the more that you repeat this, so I'm coming back to the screen now, or I'm coming back into this virtual space now, but the more that you repeat this, the more that it becomes that intuitive thing that pulls you, or that intuitive thing that you're like, okay, right, I need to find that thing. And that's why I do it with every space that I frequent. So I've got one in my office, I have one in my living room, in my bedroom. Mostly they're plants, but that's me. So mostly I'm looking for a plant. It might be a picture, it might be a sculpture, like it can literally be anything. And it's something that nobody actually needs to know or notice that you're doing. So you might just gaze towards it, and nobody needs to know what it is that you're doing inside. But when I gaze towards that plant or that thing that's my anchor, it's that mental reminder like, okay, right, I'm right here, right now. The thing that was stressing me out or the thing that's challenging me it doesn't exist in this very moment. It might be an email or something somebody said that you're ruminating on. That doesn't exist while I'm looking at this plant. Right now, it's me and the plant, and I'm going to connect and ground with it so that my nervous system can recognize I'm not in the past, I'm not in the future, I'm right here, right now. I can give myself a moment to breathe. I can reconnect to whatever I need to in this present moment to then move forward. And you can come back to it as many times as you need. So any time throughout the day, any time throughout whatever it is, you might think, okay, ground back in. And it's also a nice way to look away from a computer screen if you're working or whatever the case may be. If you're a mental health practitioner or somebody who works with people, and maybe you are in proximity to people who have experienced trauma, you might notice that that activates or triggers things within you. It's really important that you also have a grounding point so that you're not taking on their experience as your own, but you're reminding yourself, okay, I can hold space for their experience while simultaneously I can stay grounded. So there's so many different ways that you can use these anchor points. Orient yourself first. Find your anchor point, let it be something you come back to, helping to regulate your nervous system. And I hope this was useful. It's something that you can use at any time. And this is the kind of stuff that we get into. A lot of tools and techniques will be offered to you along the way, but I would love to hear if this is something that you've used before or something that is useful for you, or if you have any other ideas for things that help you resource or help you ground and orient to your space, as well as regulate your nervous system. So thank you so much for being here. We would love to have you along for the 20-hour or any other offering that calls to you, and we'll see you next time.